you were, in and out of prison.
Yeah.
English prisons, we should say, because we do know that later on in life, you end up in other countries. How did you get there? You're a chaotic user. You're going to prison, but you're coming out and you're fucking up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So, okay, we're going into the chapter of
It looks like it's taking me there. Yeah.
going abroad. Okay, so there was a dealer that I knew, a yardie, Jamaican guy, and I used to find people for him that would fly to Jamaica to swallow parcels in Jamaica and come back here. So in all of these like drug dens, I would look for people that maybe could scrub up well, that maybe, because you have to present yourself in a certain way if you're going to the airport to do something like this. This is a big thing. So I would connect those two people, and I'd get a cut. I'm not going to lie, I'd get a cut. On one occasion, I got released from a prison, and I didn't go straight back into that chaotic lifestyle because there was some accommodation on release for me, which really helped. And I was doing okay for a while. And but I wasn't working. I had no money. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I can do one of these trips. So I contacted him, and he kind of tried to talk me out of it, first of all. And then I convinced him, it'll be fine. I can do that. So, he paid for my passport. He booked the tickets to Jamaica. And I remember the weekend before I went to see my mum and dad. And I said to them, I'm going to Jamaica. And they both looked at each other like, did he just say he's going to Jamaica? I've never expressed any kind of interest in going to Jamaica.
And your mum and dad are from Jamaica?
My mum and dad are from Jamaica. I've always thought, I wasn't even too much into West Indian food.
Yeah.
I definitely had no interest in going to Jamaica as a youngster. It's too hot, there's creepy crawlies, people shoot each other over a patty. I thought, this is not for me. So when I've turned up as a 33-year-old saying, Mum, Dad, I'm going to Jamaica, they're like, okay. So where have you got money to go to Jamaica? You're not even working. Oh, my friend, he's going to pay for my ticket and blah, blah, blah. And I think my dad knew, before I left, he said, son, mind what you're doing, sort of thing, he said. So anyway, I've gone to Jamaica on my own, and it was for a week. I didn't enjoy my time because I'm stuck in this cheap hotel, and I know at the back of my mind, it's not even at the back of my mind, it's at the front of my mind, I'm going to have to be swallowing packages to fly back to the UK. And reality just set in, and I thought, I've made a huge mistake here. This is way out of my depth. Why don't I just stick to trying to find people for this guy? Why am I doing it myself? Well, to be honest with you, my plan was I was just going to rip him off. I was going to go back to the UK. He'd never see me again. That was my mindset. So I've gone to Jamaica. As I say, it wasn't even a holiday.
You didn't see anything nice? Didn't go back to mum and dad's town?
I didn't go to mum and dad's town. I did go to a nightclub. I went to, there was like what do they call it? A bikini car wash. So there's motorbikes there doing stunts, and I'm in one of the proper ghettos of Montego Bay.
Okay. And at any moment, why didn't you back out?
I don't think I would have had a choice, because
serious guy then.
Well, yeah. And also, my flight's been paid for, my passport's been paid for. If I fly back, someone's got to pay for that. Someone's got to pay for that flight. I didn't have the money to pay for that flight. It's not the kind of thing you can just say, oh, you know what? I had a change of heart, bro. It wasn't really like that. So, yeah.
But then if you was going to bump him, it was just like, oh, if I'm going to do it, I'm going all in type of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so on the day, the eve of the...
Day before my flight, I start swallowing the packages. Now, these packages are about the size of my thumb.
Okay.
And I remember he bought me this big carton of
Prune juice or something.
not prune juice. What's it? Fruits, mixed fruit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mixed fruit juice. And so I'm having a sip, swallowing the package, having a sip, swallowing the package. All of a sudden, I'm starting to feel sick. And I've realized that the outsides of the packages haven't been washed off properly. There's cocaine on the outside of all these packages. I've swallowed 86 of these packages.
Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry for the people. How much was what was the quantity you was taking over?
It was. We agreed for me to bring a key, and I swallowed about 3/4 of a kilo.
86.
Yeah.
And how many do you have left?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I was so out of it. I mean, in between swallowing some, I'd go out for a fag. I went out for something to eat and I felt sick in the restaurant where I was. I ran to the toilet and I threw up. 4 or 5 of them came out and went in the sink. I had to wash them off and put them back in my pocket. I was totally out of it. I was dazed. I felt sick. I was weak. So come the time of me flying back to the UK, I was a state. I didn't know which way was left, which way was right. I was queuing up in the wrong queue. I got to the counter and she said, "No, you're meant to be queuing over there if you're going to the UK."
This is Germany.
Yeah. So already I'm bringing attention to myself. But little did I know, I'd already brought attention to myself by flying to Jamaica on my own for a week without a job because they do a thing called profiling. So they look for idiots like me that are, have big ideas of making some fast cash and smuggling. They're looking for people like me. So, it's stereotypical behavior. It's flagging up. This guy doesn't even work, but he's going to Jamaica for a week. He's 33. It's his first holiday and he's on his own. We're going to keep an eye on him. So they've searched my suitcase. There's nothing in my suitcase. I've gone to an immigration desk next. They're asking me all sorts of questions about Jamaica. Who did you come to see? Where did they live? And the answers that I gave them just weren't adding up.
Yeah.
They're asking me, "What's your name?" And I'm saying Wednesday, So more or less as ridiculous as that, bro. So after they've searched the suitcase and not found nothing, I'm thinking, "Oh, this is sweet." They're not even worrying about, I've got it internal, They're searching my suitcase. I've got away. So I've gone through security and I'm walking towards the escalators and I'm just putting on my little shoulder bag, walking like this. And I could see someone in my peripheral vision, a white guy standing over there. And people that knew what I was doing, they said, "Don't look anyone in the eye in the airport." The guy was just out of place. Like, why was he standing there? There was nothing else there, just standing there. And I turned like that and he went like that. He called me like that. I thought, fuck.
A white guy.
A white guy.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
You just knew it was something dodge.
He was a policeman. He said, "Listen, my name's whatever his name, Jeff, blah, blah, blah." British guy. He said, I'm a policeman. I work in conjunction with the Jamaican police. Listen, the guy said, "Listen, this is a routine stop. I want you to do a urine."
It's always a routine stop.
Always a routine.
You get spun in your cell. It's a routine spin.
Routine. It's not personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've given a urine sample. On this desk, I've seen a piece of paper and it's got like 30 names on it. And beside each name is a number. So these must be previous routine stops. They're all 400 and something, 200 and something, 300 and something. My reading was 926. I'll never forget that. So,
well, that's the drugs in your system.
Drugs are in my system. So I'm trying to say I made up this whole story. Oh, I was in the nightclub. I met some girls and we had some cocaine. That's why it's in my system. He said, your reading wouldn't be like this. No amount of snorting would have you given a reading like this. So I said, fuck. Anyway, he left the room, and in came the 2 Jamaican police, and he was the nice guy, you know, because if you know anything about Jamaica, it's a harsh environment, and Jamaican police, it's another level, bro. They came in and I was just shitting myself. They had big guns on their waist. They were telling me basically, we know you swallowed. We know you swallowed. Just admit it. I was saying, no, I didn't swallow. Promise, I wouldn't do that. I was telling them I was a Muslim, I'm a good guy. I was saying everything under the sun. He said to me, listen, what we're going to do, we're going to take you to the hospital. We're going to have you x-rayed and we take it from there. They took me into the police car. Bro, I tried to bribe them with the little bit of money that I had left. When I worked it out, the money that I tried to bribe them with wouldn't have been able to buy a patty, honestly. I was desperate. I was like, I was saying anything for them to just say, oh, you know what, just go about your business. I was saying, like, I could have money sent to you. I was making all sorts of promises. Yeah. They're looking at each other like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
They've driven me to the hospital. I got x-rayed, and you could see on the x-ray, all the packages were just lodged up here. They hadn't even gone down. They were just all up here.
How did that feel inside you? Could you feel them?
I could feel them, yeah. I could feel them. I was bloated. I felt weak. I felt sick. I was sweating. I felt scared. So, yeah, the evidence, was in black and white. So I was handcuffed to the bed. I was in a ward with other failed smugglers. There was a lady in...
Failed smugglers?
Yeah,
In hospital, this?
In hospital. So they would have an officer keeping watch. There was like 4 of us. An officer keeping watch. And if you wanted to go to the toilet, you'd tell him. He would uncuff you. He would follow you to a room and you'd have to shit into this bucket, wipe them off and put them in the evidence box because he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it. And that's how it went until they all came out. I knew how many I swallowed, roughly. And I said, when it came time to when I thought they were all out, I said, look, I think that's about it. They x-rayed me again and there was none there. This one guy, he knew how many he swallowed and there was one left and it wouldn't come out. And they said, look, if it doesn't come out on the next toilet thing, we're going to have to cut you open because what happens is packages can't stay inside you for too long.
Yeah?
Mm. They will unravel.
Yeah, that's... Oh, go on.
Yeah? So...
Oh, let me just say, that's what actually happened to my uncle when we were in prison. Basically, there was only 4 of them, but they were like that, really thick. He swallowed 4 of them. There was one of heroin, one of crack, one of one of coke, one of bicarb, and then one of weed. Luckily, it was the weed, but basically, it didn't come out for a month, yeah? And we all thought he was lying. Everyone on the wing was like, he's talking shit. He's waiting for the next visit, blah, 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 blah. But he weren't one to lie, really, do you know? And he always did get. And we were walking down the wing. I come back from education. We were 2'd up. Come back from education, and one of the lads said, "Bro, your uncle's fucking collapsed. He's on the bed, and he's on the bed, right? And he's pale white. We didn't even know what was wrong with him. He was pale white, and he's like, it's opened up in me. I can feel it. Next thing you know, he's on the toilet shitting at one time, and he's gone, look at this, and he was pulling the cling film." Yeah. Out of his ass, like literally drawing it out, and chunks of weed, and it was like baby blended, but obviously when it was coming out because it was wet when it opened up, it was like in clumps of wet and whatever. But the weed opened up in him, and it was like some pure high grade, and he whiteyed. So imagine if that was Because then what he was doing, he was panicking even more then. He's
Yeah.
block up, paranoid. He's thinking, what if the heroin opens up?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to have to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, it didn't open. It come out like 2 days later.
Yeah.
But the weed opened up in him, like, do you know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
that was the crack of the heroin,
Yeah.
he could have died, like.
Yeah. It's a dangerous, dangerous game, you know? A couple of the packages that I shitted out, they were unraveling, not like like what you said, you know, coming out my arse or anything, but they were unwrapping. And even the officer was like, you know, it's a good thing that we stopped you, basically.
Yeah, because obviously I bet when you're shitting some of them out, the cling's loose and it's because you know the fluids will get inside that.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
When the heroin come out, it weren't powder. It weren't like the substance of heroin. It was like, you know, like a beetle on the foil.
Yeah.
It was like that, but it was like so they wrapped it. And I don't know if it was in like a condom or it was some sort of like bag at the end. So like they put it in this like little condom or some sort of like plastic bag.
Yeah.
And then they've wrapped it with cling. But when it was all unraveled, it was just like we could like squeeze it and it would like, do you know what I mean? It was like fluid in there, and that was because obviously the heat and it's just melted it into like a residue. Dangerous shit.
Yeah. So, you know, literally anyone that's doing these adventures, going to other countries, trying to swallow to come back, they're taking their life, they're putting their life at risk.
Yeah.
You know, there's no amount of money that can justify
your life.
It's mental, but you know, in the madness.
So, what happened? Where did he take you from the hospital? Straight to the police station?
From the hospital straight to the police station.
Okay.
Straight to the police station, Freeport Police Station. So the police station, hot and dark, lots of cells. They put me in a foreigner's cell because I'm English. With other foreigners, there was a guy from Holland in there, there was a guy from Russia in there, there was a guy from all over, and an English guy. What they do, they separate the foreigners for our own protection. Now, there was 13 of us in this cell, and the cell's about the size of, say, half of this room.
No way.
13 of us, yeah. Even smaller. As for beds, 1, 2, 3, 4 slabs of concrete coming out of the wall. So it's not a bed, it's just a slab of concrete. Imagine like a big pavement coming out the wall.
Yeah.
So there was space for 4 people to sleep. So I slept on the floor with other people. You know, it was like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, because there's cockroaches everywhere. It's red hot, it's dark, you can't see, you know, you can't even see the other side of the cell properly.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Central Club.